Hey guys. You know, I never really planned these live chats. I'm still getting in where I fit in. I've had a lot going on, guys. A very, very long summer. How's everybody doing? Hi, Lisa. My stepfather, he passed away on August 7th, so I've been occupied with that. Hey, Teresa. And I just had a birthday on Sunday, so I've been occupied with that as well, of course. So a lot going on in between coaching sessions, getting these summaries done. This has been really, really busy summer for me. The summer is over, basically. We tapping on September. Hey, Teresa, and hey, E. I'm gonna call you Speaks. Is that all right? So you guys see the title there where I'm talking about emotional maturity, because that's really what we need to have when we're healing from narcissistic abuse. Because if we think about it, a lot of you can probably admit that when you got with the narcissist, you were emotionally immature, or at least more emotionally immature than you are right now. Okay? Nia says happy birthday. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Hey, Venus. So when we're talking about emotional maturity, we're talking about someone, I'm trying to get the comments from showing here. We're talking about someone who has control over their emotions, who's in tune with their emotions, and who isn't letting other people, you know, have control over that. Because, you know, we're all humans. It doesn't mean that I don't have feelings and that someone can't hurt my feelings, but can they devastate my life? Can they ruin my whole day? Will I give them that kind of control and power? Nope, I stopped doing that. Thank you, Lisa. Because narcissists will say anything, you know. The narcissist that I'm no longer with, he told me to die tonight. He told me to die. And that message that he sent me, I didn't reply back to it because I have emotional maturity. Not only that, and I know he's a narcissist, he just wants me to see that and join in with him so that he won't be the only one of poor character. So I wasn't going to give him that. My emotional maturity allowed me to be able to see the angles outside of my initial thought of, you know, that's pretty effed up, right? It allowed me to see beyond that, to say, okay, I'm dealing with a narcissist. He's out of line. Now he's really out of line, and he's hoping I'll be out of line with him. But guess what, honey? I'm going to let you be left on just red, basically. So, you know, I seen that message, and I absolutely gave you no supply back. I didn't say anything back. It's not worth it. And it's just a bait for me to argue with him and justify his already out of line behavior. He wants something, even if it's after fact. They'll try to get something after fact. They'll do something out of pocket, try to reel you in for an argument so that you can talk nasty and get out of character, so they can use that. Even if it was after the fact, like you lost it after they did something, they'll still use it. They are very, very. But, you know, that's how you know that you won, basically, in a certain sense of they're emotionally charged. You know, that person is the one flying off the handle. And as you can see, emotionally vomiting everywhere. No self-control at all. Just none. Now, someone else could turn that into the police and feel threatened by that. You know, so they dig holes for themselves. They dig major ditches for themselves. Nia says, I share a child with a narcissist and you don't go over 5-minute convos and only about the baby. He wants to talk about other stuff only involving him, like child support. He said, please don't let me drown. Venus says, I never knew how to be mature emotionally. I had to grow up fast as a child, take care of parents and siblings. I was capable to trust. I knew what I needed to do to survive. Right, but sometimes, let's use the word survive very loosely. Like, some people may think surviving is enduring that abuse. You know, some people call that surviving, going through a lifetime of abuse. You know, that's merely existing. Survive, when you survive something, you get away from it. You know, you're away from it. Lisa says, they're so wicked. That's a kind word to say. Barbara Green says, can you ever be a friend to your ex? If they're not a narcissist, perhaps. Perhaps. If neither of you are interested in romantic dealings, which is rarely the case, usually one party wants something. Venus says, how dare the narc say that to you? He's jealous because you're doing great in life. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely haters. Nia Garcia says, I'm not scared to speak with him any longer. Yeah, don't be afraid of them, but don't put anything past them. You know, those are two separate things. One of them is just allowing you to see angles and always keep in mind the source and the kind of person that you're dealing with so that you're not blindsided or caught off guard. You got to always remember the kind of person that you're dealing with. But emotional maturity, you know, that's a person where everything someone says and thinks, that doesn't affect them. They can stand in their strength. They know who they are, and that's good enough. You know, people pleasers, people that, what will they say? What will they think? Emotionally immature. Emotionally immature. You know, and we're all human. Doesn't mean that we don't like to be comforted by people, but an emotionally mature person can comfort themselves first and foremost. You know, emotionally immature people can't be in solitude. They can't just be with themselves. That's another sign of being emotionally immature. You know, you're like a leaf in the wind, blowing with all the energy around you and emotions. An emotionally mature person can protect their energy. You know, I can wake up and say, you know what, nothing's going to bring me down today. I'm going to enjoy my birthday. I don't care who doesn't like it. I don't care what kind of hate comes my way. You know, all these things. An emotionally mature person can have that type of control. And it's disconnecting from the external and being connected with yourself. But you're not disconnected in a sense that you don't know what's going on. I'm just not making it a part of me. So, Lunar Moon Tree says, oh my God, help. She keeps contacting me and I'm trying to stay clear. Contacting you how? Through your cell phone, in person, coming to your house. If it's ways that you can block her, then do that. If it's through social media, just block the person. Try all of the level 1 stuff first, blocking them from your phone, social media, you know, try that. If you've done all the level 1 stuff and maybe they've taken it to coming to your job, trying to see you in person, then you might have to go to level 2 if they're not taking that hint. And that would possibly be a restraining order there. Lisa says they get a thrill from outrageous behavior. They do. They do, because he laughed before he told me to die. He said, LOL, die. So, you know, that was funny. That tickled him. Lunar, well, hold on, let's go here. Hairston says, my narc at his lowest now and get new supply, but mad at me because he messed up his own life and blames me, but God is showing my blessings because karma is a B. Yeah. Oh, well, they all, you know, they want to point the fingers. They're always trying to point the fingers. But yeah, ultimately, emotional maturity is being able to protect your energy. Protect your own energy. Can you do that? Or are you absorbing other people's, you know, what they're throwing in your direction? Can you deflect stuff? Can you dust stuff off your shoulders? Are you giving too much weight to what other people's feelings, what they're going to, what they're going through, what they're saying, and what they're thinking? And yes, Nia Garcia, codependents do that. Nadia Ray says, my ex is getting married and has a baby on the way. He got mad when our child was gone for the weekend, accused me of getting rid of him, but he barely sees our child. Yeah. He's just fishing for an argument. And obviously he's not that happy getting married with a child on the way. He's probably stressed out. You know, they don't like responsibilities. Things are getting real with that new primary source now. It's getting real. So the honeymoon phase is going to be over. She is going to be in a vulnerable state, probably already getting treated horribly by him, because narcissists are notorious for treating pregnant women, or the women they get pregnant, really bad, really poorly. So things are getting real over there. So he needs some outlet for his aggression and his anger. So I'm sure, you know, being able to argue with, or try to argue with the mother of his child is going to be one of the ways that he can, you know, use you as an emotional punching bag. So all is not well over there with them. Trust me on that. Lunar Moontree says, I've been focused to be alone and deal. Yeah, sometimes we need to go through that, a season of being alone, and that's fine. That doesn't mean that you have to be lonely, and it doesn't mean that, you know, those are usually powerful seasons when you are single and alone. It gives you time to focus on you. And after narcissistic abuse, that's a great thing for you to do. Okay? Barbara Green says, my ex new girlfriend's mother don't like him. You know, old people can see things. Your ex new girlfriend. What do you, Barbara, why do you know all this information? It should be real irrelevant. But yes, some people can see through the narcissist. And, you know, if it's a grandmother, she done been around the block a few times, and perhaps she may not know what it's called, but she can feel the vibe, you know. Lisa says, they don't like for us to be happy and fulfilled after we've left. That kills them. It does. It's the best revenge that you can get on a narcissist, is to be happy and unbothered. Trust me, it gets under their skin. Let you be co-parenting with a narcissist where you're shouldering all the, and then let a good man or a good woman come into your life and be spending time with your children where the narcissist doesn't, and everything's just falling apart, and they got to see the pictures on social medias, because you know they're lurking even if you block them. They got to see the pictures of somebody else doing the things that they could have been doing. And, you know, because they think you can't go on and be with somebody else, and they know the supply, or, you know, they call it supply, or the kindness and the goodness and the love that you're giving to this new person. Trust me, it will bother them. We call that karma, but it's the karma they made. They shouldn't have ruined the relationship. C. Main says, happy birthday. Thank you, sweetie. Lunar says, social media text. Oh, well, yeah, you know, you could block that person. If you already made it clear to them that you're done, block them. Block them. Or just let it sit there. It really depends on the person. See, I can let things sit. I'm okay with leaving things on red. because you know they don't like to be ignored. So if you're able to leave it on red, you know, it really depends on where you are in the process. Okay, you've blocked her, so just know that they usually have more than one profile, so, or she might try to use other people's profiles to communicate with you. I enjoy solitude too, Lisa. Gregory Seamster says, how does one become connected with oneself? How do stop being emotionally immature? Well, connecting with oneself, you would think that would be so easy, but you know, survivors of narcissistic abuse have been so used to being at other people's beck and calls that, yeah, there is a loss of self there. Connecting with oneself, just start with getting to know yourself. Why don't you get a pen and a pad out and do an exercise where you just think about, what do I like? What do I dislike? You know, like just really get reacquainted with yourself. And when you're making decisions in your waking life, think about it. Is this what I really want? Take time in a moment to think, or am I doing this to keep up images? Am I doing this to please someone else? Is this serving my greater good? These are the types of questions that you want to ask yourself when you're reconnecting with yourself. Like, how do I really feel about that? And it's okay. Even, you know, sometimes we have dark feelings and dark thoughts, or thoughts that we would be embarrassed to admit to other people. Or, you know, a lot of times when we've been used to being a giver, we'll start feeling selfish when we get connected with ourselves. We'll realize, you know, I have wants and needs as well. No, I don't want to give you my last. No, I want to take my day off for myself. I don't want to spend it doing this or doing a favor for you. Like, you know, you'll find out these things with yourself. So getting connected with yourself is asking yourself questions and being brave and bold enough to actually answer them honestly, without judging yourself. You don't have to judge yourself. You know, we judge ourselves for being human. Free yourself from that. So connecting with yourself, a part of it is going to be being gentle with yourself. Learn how to be gentle with yourself and learn how to allow yourself to be human, because a lot of times survivors are caught up in trying to be perfect. And I talked about this in the last live chat, all the energy that goes into trying to be perfect. I mean, the narcissist just wants to appear that way. They're doing the bare minimum to appear that way on the surface. But the survivor is actually trying to be perfect in a relationship, trying to be perfect for someone else, trying to be a perfect friend, a perfect daughter, a perfect son. Like, you're trying to be perfect, but nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, and everyone gets tired sometimes, and sometimes you just gotta say no. And this is what survivors need to get comfortable with. It's okay. Someone calls you selfish, if someone else doesn't agree with it, that's their problem. You know, that's how you got to start getting in life. You know, if you want what you want, that's what you want. Emotional maturity will help you become this way. But start asking yourself questions and stop worrying about other people's questions and other people's thoughts. And, you know, so you're getting connected with yourself by focusing on yourself without being worried about what other people think. You know, like, what do you really want to be doing with your life? Like, is my whole life what somebody else wanted me to do? Like, these are the questions. How do you really feel about it? What do you really want to do? You know? That's how you start getting connected with yourself. Stop and feel. Feel what you're feeling in the moment and be okay with that. Even if some people call it negative feelings, if you feel anger, if you feel sad, if you feel depressed, that's still getting connected with yourself, because you're feeling it and you're creating awareness. So, you know, becoming aware. You should know yourself better than everyone else, not the narcissist who's manipulating. You know, they're getting to know you emotionally. They are, even though they're not connecting with you emotionally, because they're trying to find out what makes you react this way and react that way. So you should actually know yourself better than other people. That's why I tell people to be their own best friend. All right, let me go down. Lunar says he keeps getting randoms, but is her. Right, you know, they're going to have multiple profiles. They're going to be desperate. Venus says, wow, okay, thanks. Emotional, mature people control their energy. I didn't know that. Yes, not letting others control your feelings. Yes, absolutely. But we have control over that. Emotionally immature people give that power to other people, and they're at other people's bay all the time. Someone can come say something nasty to them and ruin their whole day, throw off their concentration, and you know, and this is what the narcissist will try to do from a distance once it's over with you, because they're hoping that you're still emotionally immature. If you're still emotionally immature, the narcissist will find ways to get at you. They're going to use their emotional immaturity, because they're still emotionally immature anyway, to even take that approach. But they're going to test you to see how mature you've gotten. Does it still work? Can I still hurt his or her feelings by saying this or that? Do they still give what I say that much weight? Will they still give me their energy? They want you to stay emotionally immature with them. Hairston says, I allowed my narc to come back and showed me what I went through in a month and a half, what I went through in 9 years. So you took a Hoover and then it was more of the same? Yeah. Gregory says, how do I deal with the loneliness? Well, the loneliness, a lot of times it could be several things. It's usually a perception. A lot of people feel like if they're not in a relationship or if they're not surrounded by groups of people, they're lonely. They don't know how to entertain themselves. They don't know how to have fun with just themselves. I mean, do you have any hobbies, any interests, anything, a bucket list? Do you have goals and creativity and things that you're working on towards your life? Do you like to do arts and crafts or go to conventions? Do you want to travel? And, you know, date yourself. Everyone should date themselves. Like, it's foreign to a lot of people, but I've taken myself to the movies. I've taken myself out to dinner. I go buy myself fresh flowers on a regular basis. I treat myself the way I want other people to treat me. You should treat yourself better than anybody would treat you. First and foremost, I can get lost with myself. I used to need to be around people. I used to jump from relationship to relationship, rebounding. But loneliness just means that you don't have your own fulfillment in life. And that means you're going to be putting the pressure on whoever, your friends, your family, your partner, whoever you get with next. You're going to put pressure on them to fulfill that for you. You're going to put pressure on them. So imagine if you're already happy and fulfilled in your life and you get with this person, they're just adding to it, but they're not responsible for your happiness. And that is the problem of what we were doing with the narcissist. And that's what we have to stop doing. We have to take that power and control. And that's what emotional maturity does. It says, I'm in control of my happiness. And yes, it's not good that man beeth alone all the time. But we do have those seasons, and it's okay. You don't have to be with somebody 24 hours a day. Okay? So loneliness just means you need more fulfillment in your life, Gregory. Nadia says, what is your suggestion for visitation? Every time I try to suggest a schedule, he gets mad. I just don't want him to say I'm being vindictive when that's not the case at all. I would do it through the courts, and if he doesn't want to come around, I mean, right now you're just trying to do it peacefully. You know, that's not what he's about. That's why most people that deal with narcissists in that way, they're going to do it through the courts, Nadia, because they're confrontational, they're not about making peace, and he's going to be inconsistent even with a court order. So again, you're caring too much about what he said. You gave him the opportunity, he didn't take it, that's on him. Unfortunately, your child, unfortunately, your child is not getting the father that it deserves. Unfortunately, the child is not around a narcissist that's going to, chances are, affect the child negatively in life. The narcissist can't give what they don't have to give. So I would deal with them through the courts, and if you don't want to do that, let it go. You gave him the opportunity, he didn't take it, oh well, keep the messages, screenshot it and put it in a file on your computer. One day when your child gets old enough and a narcissist says, your mother kept me from me, show him the messages. Show him the messages. You gave him opportunities, he don't take them, that's on him. You can't twist and force the narcissist to do anything, and if they do it, it's going to be spitefully and in a negative realm, so let it go. Sandra says, my ex-husband was evil. Yeah. Lisa says, Gregory, learn to love yourself, okay? Dancer Sprinkle says, I've been getting all kinds of phone calls, but I ain't gonna answer. Tomorrow is our anniversary. She's really ill. Yeah, don't answer. You know, they want to trigger you. They're all about triggering you. When it's over, they want to try to play with your mind from a distance. Elizabeth says, good evening. Good evening, sweetie. Gregory says, how does one protect their energy, and why would the narcissist want to have sex with me after treating me so badly and discarding me? Because that's a part of the cycle of abuse. So they're going to have to discard you, and then they're going to try to love bomb you again, or hoover you for the love bomb, Gregory. I've made videos as to why the narcissist wants to have sex with you, and I probably gave at least 20 reasons in 2 videos. But yeah, it's to make sure that trauma bond stays connected, right? So you're trauma bonded with someone, your mind is physiologically reacting to the highs and the lows of the relationship. So, you know, once they've disrespected you and they get you to have sex, it's giving you that dopamine that's going to keep you trauma bonded and soul tied. So chances are the narcissist wants to have sex with you to go ahead and start the cycle of abuse over again and to get something from you. Okay? Lunar Moon Tree says, and I've been okay. That's good. Venus says, I actually love being alone. I know, after everything that you go through with the narcissist, you just love it. Sometimes we go all the way to the end of the spectrum where we just don't even want to deal with people at all. And that's a normal phase to go through. Like, look, I'll be by myself because they just did the most. They did the most, and it just got to the point where you're just done with people for a little while. And it's okay. You can go through that phase. It's a phase. But it's good to like to be alone, you know, because now you're not going to be needy. Not going to be needy for other people. All right. Lisa says, yes, I was treated badly while pregnant. Yeah, that's textbook. Gregory says, just want to thank you all for all the posts. I guess happiness and success is the best revenge. Happy birthday as well. It is. It actually is. Sincere, genuine happiness. Marilyn says, great coming from a place of power, huh? I feel like I have on a new pair of glasses. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the beautiful thing about narcissistic abuse is it is an opportunity for us to elevate our levels of consciousness. We do have an opportunity there, guys. Harrison says, I found the closure during that time because I didn't want to believe he was a narc, but came back and admits he was a sociopath. And called me a snake on my B-day, and 3 days later started an argument. Yeah, yeah. That narcissist is desperate for crumbs. He wanted to ruin your birthday. They like to ruin birthdays and holidays. Yours, you know. And yeah, they want to argue because they'll take any type of energy, negative or positive. They can't get to love bomb you, then they'll take an argument because it's still interaction, still supply for them, right? Barbara says his girlfriend told his sister that, and you people are going to talk, and I think he is getting his karma now because God don't like ugly, right? Yeah, it's shadow work, Visions. He says this stuff is hard. Thank you, sweetie. Venus says happy birthday. All right. I'm just reading the comments, guys. They do, Lisa. Marilyn, well, Gregory says it's important that you know that we men out here are surviving because of you. That trauma bond is excruciating, especially when co-parenting. How do I break the trauma bond? I've lost everything. Breaking the trauma bond requires space, because the trauma bond is based off of the interactions, right? Your brain is used to a pattern. So the only way to break that pattern that you had with the narcissist is to go no contact and to not have that pattern. Don't put another toxic person in their place. Just be with yourself or positive people, basically, and you start to reprogram your brain. But what I've also heard is that our brain never forgets that pathway as well. But, you know, the healthier you get, the less appealing that will be to you over time, okay? So how do you break the trauma bond? No contact. No contact. You got to start a new pattern. A healthy one. That is how you do that. And you haven't lost everything, Gregory. You still have yourself. And you know, I've been in places in my life where I felt like I've lost everything, where I've been homeless, guys, where I've had to completely start over. So I know what that feels like, to be your soul, your spirit, financially, emotionally, psychologically. It just like feels like every realm that you need to be healthy and balanced is just crashed and devastated. But as long as you have breath in your body, as long as you are still willing to fight, you can get back. And especially the material things. You know, we live in a society that's very materially driven, and you know, people have committed suicide, you know, over the stock market crashing and stuff like that. But we have to get emotionally mature. That's emotionally immature. The person who does that is emotionally immature, and their perception and their tunnel vision is just making them magnify the loss of these material things. All right. And I'm not going to say that, you know, financial devastation is anything to be taken lightly, because it is a rough thing to go through, especially if you don't have that support, you know. But the most successful people in this world, they've gone through it. They've all been homeless. They've all started from the rock bottom. So you're in good company. And it also gives you hope that you can turn those situations around. Go ahead on YouTube and Google some situations, or even some celebrities that you're fond of, and see where their beginnings are rooted. I bet you is extremely humble, and that they were homeless at some point. And they lost it all. You know, lost it all in quotes. They didn't lose it all. They still had something left in them, and God wasn't finished. He wasn't finished with them. All right. Visions wants to travel the world and eventually fall in love with someone else. A healthy person, when you're healthy-minded as well. Sandra says, God, I'm happy he left me, right? I've said that in videos that I've flat out exhausted. Like, goodness, you get that break and it's like, oh my gosh. Like, take the rest, honey. Dancer says, I feel so sick now. I know what's up. Can't wait for my divorce. She's hiding my cousin. The constable looked everywhere because they go to the same places all the time. Vision says, why am I caught up in this third-party triangle? He is married and messing with my sister, and I broke up with him. Girl, and it bothers me, but I only talk to my sisters and we're not on good terms. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely nothing to be caught up on. Thank you, Venus. Alright. Yeah. Date yourself, girl. You'll enjoy it. The narcissists, they suck so much of your resources. Isn't it nice to just spend that extra money on yourself? Give that extra energy to yourself and not being sucked into their problems left and right? Come on. Gregory says, don't forget co-parenting with the female narcissist is just as bad. Oh, it's worse. It's worse because she usually has custody of the child, and so the child is with her most of the time being programmed and, you know, and seeing her toxic ways and whatever she's brainwashing the child to think about, you know, the non-narcissistic father is, I think it's worse. It is worse. And then, you know, the law system kind of caters towards the female, so it's actually worse. My heart goes out. Teresa says, what happens if you act like you forgot their birthday? Well, if you guys were in a long-term relationship, they'll notice it. They didn't get that supply. May cause a little narcissistic injury, or if they have a new primary source, they'll try to act like it didn't bother them and maybe blast on social media everything that the news supply did, perhaps, you know. But in the back of their mind, they may be bothered by it. Gregory says, how do you deal with the smear campaign? My female narcissist has so many people thinking I'm unstable. One, after seeing what she's done to her older 2 children, and I'm scared for our 8-year-old. Well, don't get caught up in the he said, she said, Gregory. The main thing is that you don't have any physical evidence of this, and that is actually not true. That is all that matters, primarily in the court, you know, and that's the emotional maturity. You have to get to the place of knowing she's going to do this. She's going to do this forever, chances are, you know, while you guys are still parenting, while they're still minors. So knowing this, all you can really do is make sure she can actually back that up with evidence. You know, Gregory, just focus on that. Focus on that. And if it's her family and friends, they're going to be biased, whether she's telling the truth or not. Okay. Hey, Inga. Venus. Yeah. Yes, he was homeless. Steve Harvey was homeless for like 4 years. Guys, I am on 5%. I'm going to have to end this live chat. But I just wanted to jump on here, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to read the rest of these comments, but I'm away from my charger right now. So, and rather than just letting it black out on you guys, you know. But if this live chat resonated with you, go ahead and hit the like button, guys. Feel free to subscribe and share any and all of my videos. It'll be back up for you guys to replay. I'm going to go to my car and get it on the charger, but it'll be too dark in there. I'm at LA Fitness right now waiting for my friend. So God bless you too. God bless you too. Live chats are a good time for you guys to hop on and ask me questions, especially if you can't afford coaching, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to hop off of here before it blacks us out. But it was great coming on here and talking with you guys tonight, and I hope that it helps someone. Take care.